Our scripture reading today comes from two different scriptures. First is Mark 15, 22 through 38, and then we'll read just one verse from Luke 17, verse 33. They brought Jesus to the place called Golgotha, which means skull place. They tried to give him wine mixed with myrrh, but he didn't take it. They crucified him. They divided up his clothes, drawing lots for them to determine who would take what. It was 9 in the morning when they crucified him. The notice of the formal charge against him was written: the King of the Jews. They crucified two outlaws with him, one on his right and one on his left. People walking by insulted him, shaking their heads and saying, "Ha! So you are going to destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Were you? Save yourself and come down from that cross." In the same way, the chief priests were making fun of him among themselves, together with the legal experts. He saved others, they said, but he can't save himself. Let the Christ, the King of Israel, come down from the cross. Then we'll see and believe. Even those who had been crucified with Jesus insulted him. From noon until 3 in the afternoon, the whole earth was dark. At 3, Jesus cried out with a loud shout, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you left me?" After hearing him, some standing there said, "Look, he's calling Elijah." Someone ran, filled a sponge with sour wine, and put it on a pole. He offered it to Jesus to drink, saying, "Let's see if Elijah will come to take him down." But Jesus let out a loud cry and died. The curtain of the sanctuary was torn in two from top to bottom. When the centurion who stood facing Jesus saw how he died, he said, "This man was certainly God's son." So we have Luke 17. Whoever tries to preserve their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life will preserve it. It's the word of God for the people of heaven. Thanks be to God. I'd like you to stand as you're able to join singing Word of Heaven.
Were you there?
resilient, resourceful, savvy, and self-sufficient. It knows how to survive in hard places. I learned about these qualities during my bouts with depression. And that deadly darkness, faculties I had always depended on collapsed. My intellect was useless. My emotions were dead. My will was impotent. My ego was shattered. But from time to time, deep in the thickets of my inner wilderness, I could sense the presence of something that knew how to stay alive, even when the rest of me wanted to die. That something was my tough and tenacious soul. Last week we allowed ourselves to go to a place of uncertainty. And so we were recognizing that if we're honest, and if we have to be truly honest, that most of our life is uncertain. Questions of what will come around the bend and how we will respond. As we looked for gifts that might be found in these dark woods of uncertainty. We also opened ourselves up to the possibility of those times when we were so anxious and afraid and frustrated about uncertain situations in our life. It's then that we might find a deeper trust, a more steadfast faith in God and in one another. It's often the case that in these uncertain times, those are moments when we find that faith and trust is all we can be certain about in this life. The faith that God will walk with us, the trust that we will get to the other side somehow, some way, some day. Whatever that other side might look like. We can have faith and trust that we'll get there. And so this morning, as we continue our journey into the dark woods, we remember those moments in our life and the gift of emptiness. Maybe it's unexpected news or consequences, decisions to make, challenging journeys before us. All of us share these times, don't we? Don't we share these times together? When we feel like we've exhausted our tanks of living? What does it mean to feel empty? To feel that in spite of our best efforts, we just miss the mark. To reflect on our good intentions, to admit consequences of terrible acts. Misjudgment. Anyone here ever run on an empty tank? When I think about empty tanks, I am reminded about, first thing I really think about is my car. And I'm one of those people that likes to fill up when the tank gets halfway. My wife will let it go and ding at her for a month before she puts gas in the car. I can make it a little bit further. It'll be all right. What I'm talking about is the empty tank of the soul. Have you ever felt that emptiness inside that it just keeps dinging at you? Ding, ding, ding. I am empty. It becomes irritating and overwhelming. empty tanks of energy, mindfulness, or emotions. For some of us who call ourselves Christians, we take seriously steps to learn and grow and to model our living in the way that we believe that Jesus would. Now, admittedly, there are vast differences in how folks interpret the life of Jesus. I know this. Hopefully we know this. And even greater differences in how Jesus would respond to our contemporary challenges of this day. But no matter where we come down on how Jesus would respond or react in today's world, no matter what our theological interpretations are, and I know that they are varying, there's this one thing that I believe almost everyone can believe. We can agree that this man, Jesus, was the Son of God, a rabbi or teacher, prophet, and was special in a way that has not been replicated in over 2,000 years. There's been no one like him ever since. His message has stood the test of time. His actions called believers to be more intentional, more compassionate, more justice-filled. See, Jesus took the hard road. He literally took up his cross and followed God's call, only to be killed on that cross he'd been carrying his whole life. That is what happened. Jesus challenged those in power, challenged the political movers and shakers of the time, challenged the higher folks of society. He chose his followers among this ragtag, common folk type of group that no one had on their radar at all. He spent his time with those who society called rejects. Because he spoke out and acted on behalf of the least of these, Jesus was killed. So we have that last scripture we read about lose your life for God means you gain your life. What do we do with that? Imagine what Jesus might have felt at this time. Imagine what he may have felt. Maybe it was like this. It was a sense of, wow, I've lived my life just like God called me to live. I made all the right decisions. I have all these people following me, and I'm literally transforming the way the world thinks and acts now and forever. Mission accomplished, right? Jesus must have felt at peace and worthy with his life. Excuse me. God was walking with him all the way. God was walking with him all the way. He knew this. Jesus knew that God walks with us. Matter of fact, Jesus taught this and still teaches it today that God is with us and will never leave us. In the moment that I probably cling to more than any other moment in Jesus' ministry, more than the beautiful Sermon on the Mount, more than him sitting at the well with the marginalized woman or welcoming a rejected eunuch, I hold on to this moment where Jesus cried out with a loud shout. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, where have you left me? It's in this moment when I feel more related to Jesus than ever. Because I see a very human side of him in this moment. I think humanity speaks similarly when we have empty tanks. My God, why have you left me? God, where are you? My body is wearing out. My energy is sapped dry. My mental capacity is growing dim. God, where are you? Those I love are clinging to life. God, where are you? I look around in differences of politics and widening the gaps between the have and the have-nots, the ones with voices and the ones who are silenced. In our streets, people are going hungry and hopeless, and folks are fighting addictions, and others are being pushed further into the margins. God, people are living to die and dying to live. God, we are in the dark woods of emptiness. God, where are you? God, help. Been there? Jesus, in some of his last words, clearly expresses his fear, his emptiness, a feeling of aloneness. That's why I resonate with this story. Because more than once in my life, I have felt empty. When relationships were severed, when loved ones have died, when people I love succumb to addiction or other diseases or life crises. Have you ever felt empty or alone? When you couldn't muster up anything to fill the tank? Maybe you're there this morning. Maybe you've been there before. But there's good news. And there is always good news with God. First, we are in good company. We have brothers and sisters around us who love us and will do anything for us. And God is here in our midst. And God is with us as we leave this place and in our lives, ever present. I find it refreshing to see myself. All my doubts, my fears, anxieties, feelings of being overwhelmed and empty, I can see these on the cross with Jesus. Thanks be to God that I find hope, because just as those fears died with Jesus, they can also die for me. I've heard most of my life that my sins were the reason that Jesus died. And that can be overwhelming. Talk about guilt. My understanding of this cross, this cross that Jesus bore for us, has changed a little bit over the years, and I feel like some things about the cross have been revealed to me as a person, and I just want to offer them to you and to see if you have felt these overwhelming fears of your sins, of putting Jesus on the cross, and how this might help in some way. So my understanding is that it wasn't my personal misgivings or my personal stupid mistakes or my personal misjudgments that put Jesus on that cross. It wasn't me personally. I begin to think about the people who wanted to kill Jesus, and I think it was those who wanted his message of love and grace and inclusion that killed Jesus. Yet we know that death, right? We know that death did not have the last word. It still does not today. We know that the emptiness we feel won't have the last word either. You see, Jesus wondered if God had forgotten him, if his life had been lived in vain. He doubted in his very last breath, God, why? Where? Wow. I think God expects those questions from us in our empty times. And I hope that you can believe with me that we serve a God who can handle our questions. It's liberating for me to move beyond the guilt of putting Jesus on this cross to the kindred spirit of being able to ask God difficult questions in the most challenging of times. Did you hear what happened after Jesus asked, my God, why have you left me? Did you hear what happened in our story? The curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. Things in the world were getting ready to take a drastic turn. Even in the face of emptiness and fear, the world was transformed. Why is this important? Why would there be a curtain that was torn in two? What is the big deal about that? Well, the curtain separated God from the people. It was in the Holy of Holies where God was present. And it tore in two, and it separated the people from God. But when it was torn in two, Jesus stepped in. Became our advocate, the one who speaks on our behalf. And so no longer are we separated from God, but we can come close to God. God is with us. You see, things were changing. They were taking a drastic turn. Even in the face of emptiness and fear, the world was transformed. How many billions of people in the world follow the teachings of Jesus today? Well, Christians do. But I'll tell you that there are people who say they're not Christian that also follow some of Jesus' teachings. His message did not die. His life was not in vain. Death does not have the final word. He lives. He lives in you. He lives in me. His message of love and compassion is still transforming our world today. And so it is with us in our emptiness. When all seems lost and our tanks yearn for a refill, God can fill us with the assurance that no matter what life has in store, God has the last word. And God will not leave us ever. God will fill us. Hope. Fill us with peace. Fill us with love. I believe that Jesus was confident in his last words that we find in Luke. Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. He was confident even after doubts and fears and questions. And contrary to all the appearances that Jesus was done, he was. Confidence that God had been with him all along. And that God would spread open his arms and welcome him home was with him. And so God, into your hands, we commit our spirits to work, to grow, to be filled. May it be so. Each week we are taking time